Ooh, good morning from Copenhagen. Just got up, looking awesome. It is just turned 7 o'clock. Flight yesterday and the travel was a bit of a madness. It just a lot of delays, waiting about. 2 kids, one of them 4 months, one of them 3.5. Less than ideal. But I don't know if you can hear me now, traffic's kind of bad. We're getting up, we're getting after it. We're gonna nip to the supermarket, just getting a morning walk in, getting a litre and a half down us, getting a few little bits for the room. We forgot toothpaste, so we had to use Florence's last night. Then we're gonna get back, gonna have a pre-workout meal, then gonna go train some legs. See how much I can vlog. I ain't got a tripod, I ain't got my fancy camera, so might be shit, might not. See ya.
Yes, guys, welcome back to the road to 200 pounds lean. As you can tell, we're packing on some mass. The lighting's doing me all right here. And this morning we are sitting at 198.4 pounds, I believe, upon memory. So peak body weight before Copenhagen. By the way, I clearly didn't continue to vlog in Copenhagen. Apologies for that. I set off the day and I thought, I'm in my routine here. I'm walking down the street, bit of steps in before I train. I reckon I'm going to be able to vlog here. And then I quickly realised I'm on a family holiday. One, wasn't very practical. Two, I didn't really want to. I wanted to be present and just be with my family. It's been a while since we got away, and do you know what? It's really given me the opportunity to think clearly, think about the way I want to take my YouTube stuff, the way I want to take my business stuff, the way I want to take my training, what matters to me in terms of family, stuff like that. So it was a really good opportunity to slow down and just let thoughts come into my mind. And on that topic, there's a book that I recommend to anyone, and it's called Slowing Down to the Speed of Life. It was actually recommended to me by a client who'd gone through quite a lot of personal stuff, quite a lot of tragedy actually, and he recommended it to me, and I honestly gave it a read. And the crux of it is a lot of the problems or a lot of the things that you're trying to find solutions for in your life, and the human brain's wired we're always constantly trying to fix things. A lot of the time, rather than actively trying to come up with solutions, a lot of the time you'll come up with your best solutions when you're not even actively trying to think about it, when you're just slowing down to the speed of life. Just you're having a shower, you're walking the dog, whilst not listening to a podcast, you're just being present and you're just fucking chilling, and all of a sudden you'll just come up with great solutions and ideas and get creative and what have you. And that's typical. That's what happens when you go away a lot of the time, or it does for me anyway. So that was definitely valuable. But yeah, I didn't vlog, and that's why. Now what I'm going to do there, because I did record one session whilst I was there, and that was my usually my mix session on a Friday, but I just didn't do hamstrings whilst I was there. I just kind of did meat and potato upper body stuff with an arm workout basically. My main thing I want to bring up on my upper body's arms. I already smashed legs the day prior whilst I was on holiday, so without further ado, I'm going to talk you through my upper body session. So first of all, here's a video of the actual gym. So yeah, it was pretty sick. This is Copenhagen gym, great name, in Copenhagen. As you can see, Lee Priest and Nasser El Sambate. I almost didn't remember his name then. Rest in peace on the video there. Proper bodybuilding gym. This is 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Loads of Panata kit, loads of hammer strength kit. Really hardcore training facility, but ridiculously clean, ridiculously organised. These types of gyms where it's a real meathead bodybuilding style gym, typically they're not super clean or tidy. This was fucking pristine. I was making sure I put all my shit back and being really on it. So that was a fucking awesome gym. I'd definitely go back there when visiting again. Anyways, into exercise numero uno. So here we got cable bicep curls. So a lot of my exercises at the minute, what I'm trying to do is get that balance between range of motion, but active range of motion, not just coming all the way down, all the way up and letting tension come off. I'm trying to get as big a stretch as I can. I'll go all the way down and come all the way up, but only to the points where I've still got a good amount of tension on the muscle, because at the end of the day, what we know from the research now is the main thing that's driving that muscle building response is what's called mechanical tension. So having that tension on the muscle, producing force. So you want to be stable and you want to make sure you've got tension on. But you also want to make sure your technique's great and you're isolating. So that's sort of the focus. Start off with these. Really hard at the top of the exercise in the short arm position. But yeah, they felt fucking great. Next up went into triceps. Single arm tricep push down. I find that a single arm tricep push down, it's really easy to get yourself lined up with a cable and really work really well. Big focus with these. So something I was finding on like previous videos for the last few months is sometimes I'll lose tension at the bottom, and it's obviously just the way I'm positioning my elbow or driving back, what have you. And today on this one, I just really focused on making sure I wasn't letting momentum carry me through. So although, like, yes, on some exercises, it's great to be like powerful and explosive. You're gonna, you know, recruit more type 2 muscle fibers and potentially build more muscle, all that jazz. But ultimately, like with an isolation like this, I'm a big fan of treating an isolation like an isolation and making sure you feel it at all points. Treating a compound like a compound. Compound movement, I might be a bit more explosive, etc. With this, I was trying to make sure I felt it at every portion. Really focusing on tensing my tricep hard at the bottom and taking that to failure, I do believe. So there we go. Then we went into a bicep curl with arms behind us. So notice something a change I made to this recently is I'm not standing super far forwards. I haven't also got the cable attachment super high up. Prior to this, I was like trying to chase maximal stretch. I feel like everyone was influenced a little bit negatively by some of Mike Israel's stuff on the stretch training. Basically, like a lot of the research recently is like being quite heavy on how challenging a muscle in the lengthened range, you're going to be able to create more muscle damage and therefore drive a better response to making gains. Now, the only thing is, with certain exercises, you try and do that and you get to a point where you lose stability and then you can't produce as much force, and then it's like it ends up being counterproductive. And this is definitely one of them. So I'm not going too far forwards, just standing a little bit further forwards. You know, if you notice my arms are super far back, but still far enough back where I'm getting a stretch. They went in overhead tricep extensions. For some reason, like I wonder if anyone can like explain this to me. On my left elbow, when I do anything out in front, like a skull crusher or like a machine like this, I can't go past 90 degrees. Same with like on a tricep push down. I ended up just getting like some like elbow crunching stuff. Like I did a handoff to someone in rugby training when I was like 14, and ever since then, like I did something to my elbow. I felt like crunch at the time, and I can't seem to get past 90 degrees without this little like clicky crunchy thing. And on heavier weights, it really hurts. Overhead though, I can go straight past it. I don't know if there's something going on there with the tissues in my arm or elbow structure where I can go straight past it, get that deep range of motion, and it feels really good for me. So this is definitely a tricep exercise I'm keeping in, even if it might not be as stable as something when my back's against the bench or what have you. It's easy to set up, I get a great connection, and it's one of the rare ones there I can get a great range of motion as well. So that's what we did. Then we did 4 exercises for arms, so 2 bi, 2 tri, and then we literally did 1 exercise for back, 1 exercise for chest. So this is my back exercise for this day. Usually I do 2, something horizontal, something vertical. Yes, you may argue, like, and theoretically, if we're going to pick 1 back exercise coming up from above, probably better for something single arm and something that doesn't come out wider as you pull down. Because when something comes out wider as you pull down, you're not going to bias your lats as much at the bottom. You're probably going to bias some more like general upper back, everything else and a bit of lats. But these feel fucking awesome, and Dorian Yates did them, so I wanted to fucking do them. They're cool. There's a hardcore element and an element to enjoying training. Plus, I'm still going to work my lats fucking well, right? I'm pulling from high up, getting a good stretch and pulling down. I'm still going to fucking make some gains doing them. So we did 2 sets on that to failure. Then we went into the hammer strength chest press. Once again, this is purely a fun movement. And to be fair, I've been doing dumbbell press on this day, and that was more of just like something that I wanted to do from a fun perspective, as my main chest compound. I do obviously need to bring up everything, right? But from a chest perspective, it's just about getting under something that I can load without any sort of aches or pains, and progress over time. And this one, Jay Cutler used to do it, and I haven't used one in years, so I wanted to do it, and I was very surprised I managed 3 plates. And then from there, because I was short on time, needed to get back to the family, I actually did a drop set. So I did 3 plates there for 8 reps, which I was very happy with. I wasn't sure whether I was even going to get more than 4 or 5. Then I went straight into 2 plates, and as you can tell, I was pretty, even though it's my first chest exercise, I was pretty cooked. Something I was very impressed with as well, like, is how good, because I've never done it, because I'm always scared it'd impact my chest or my back training too much. Even though I've done 2 tricep exercises, 2 bicep exercises to failure for like 2 or 3 sets each, fucking coming into these press movements, feel fine. Actually feel really good, like really stable, really fucking strong. So that's very interesting. So if you're someone that wants to bring up your arms, but maybe you're not at a point yet, like you like someone like me where you've got fucking tens and tens of pounds of muscle you want to put on still. So you maybe you know you see things on the internet like, oh, you don't need to focus on like bringing up weak body parts yet, everything's weak. But if you know that you've been training for a few years like me and you're like, I do need to bring up my arms, don't be afraid to try and put them first before like some chest work, because you'd be surprised if your logbook, you just need to try it basically for a few weeks. If your logbook's still able to progress, fucking you're getting stronger on shit safely, like who fucking cares? And then we got last exercise of the session, which was some side raises. So this was, what was the piece of kit called? This is the Arsenal side raise. So I actually maxed this out at the top, like I hit the top of it. So the change I've made to this is I was just bringing all my side raise stuff, I was just bringing to like in line with my shoulder. This is just because like coming all the way to the top, your trap is going to kick in more. But since training with our Tom, he just preferred this style of doing it. Also, Nick Walker does it, and he's a fucking beast. So like, I mean, got to try that shit out. What I do notice is, obviously, because you're coming higher up, you do get a bit more of a contraction on your delt, I must admit, in that short-arm position, so it does feel really good. You do get some more traps, but who cares? Sometimes we don't need to nerd out so much. Coming all the way up isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I did a drop set on that, took it to failure, and that was it. So, really productive training session. As I said, bodyweight, I came back, and bodyweight was like 198 on, I flew back on Sunday. Monday morning, weighed myself, I was like 198, weighed myself, like 198.6, weighed myself Tuesday, I was like 197.1, so my body weight dropped a bit. Before I went away, I was ranging between 194s to 196.6, so I gained like 2 or 3 pounds whilst I was there on holiday, which kind of didn't really want to do. I was actually going to go with a lot more conservative approach whilst I was there, like a high protein, unless it was a day where I was training. If I was at a rest day, I was going to go like high protein, low calorie breakfast, same with like 1 or 2 other meals throughout the day, and then the food that I ate out there, if I wanted some Danish pastries or wanted a meal out, I'd have the calories to play with. But the risk with that is not eating enough. At the end of the day, I'm trying to build muscle right now, so Tom was quite big on me getting plenty of carbs in, plenty of protein, but keeping my fat low outside of the meals that I had out, so I did that instead. And basically, it's not his fault. On Saturday, I ordered too much sushi, and I just fucking ate it regardless. And I think that alongside having a bit more food after probably tipped me over the edge. Yes, I could have had less pastries, but I didn't overcook them. Probably like 1 a day on average for like 3 or 4 days, which like probably like 400 calories each, pretty high. But yeah, I think next time I probably kept things the same on the days where I lifted weights, on the days where I didn't lift weights. In the meals that I made at home, I'd have probably gone like lower protein, lower carb, and lower fat. I already did lower fat. I'd probably gone lower carb to then allow myself the extra calories for them like off-plan bits and just make it fit easier, so I didn't come back and gain as much weight. But we'll live and we'll learn. I had a great time. I'm not mad at where we're at since coming back, and yeah, we can lock back in now. And hopefully we'll just sort of either drop a little bit of weight. I mean, body weight has gone up today, but it was legs yesterday. Like just over 198, so we'll see. I did kind of want body weight to come back downish by now to like 195 to make sure I've not got rid of any extra like fat or water. But worst case scenario, we stick around this body weight for the next few weeks and we just recomp, because I'm not going to be eating shit now. I'm not going to be having some Danish pastries. I'm not going to be in Copenhagen for the next few months anyways, for the very least. So yeah, hopefully that should sort itself out. But yeah, guys, that's where we're at. Any questions, bang them in the comment section. If you like the video, like it. And yes, I'm going to be doing some more educational stuff coming soon as well. So if you want to learn, please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can make as much progress as you can do in your physique. Let's go.